And Hoodie said there was no way for a mortal to enter the 11th circle of hell. Security around here is so lax. Oh, hey, look, there's Hoodie's room over there. I'm gonna go check it out. Oh, wow, this place is kind of a dump, eh? I wonder what's in this drawer. Oh, Hoodie, you naughty little so-and-so. What would your mother say? Oh, look, here's his porn collection. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, that's not very alluring. Here you go. What? Is that Ernest Borgnine? Oh, man, that's just wrong. Oh, hey, what's this over here? Aha, it's a video. Looks like it's been lying around a few months. He must have been meaning to do it, but never got around to it. Let's take a look. Death toll under capitalism, huh? Well, since communism and socialism have killed over 260 million, this should be interesting. Could be worse. You could be looking at Hoodie's porn collection. Jeez, what she was doing with that leaf blower. Ugh. Wait, what do drone strikes have to do with capitalism? Yes, but that's not capitalism. That's mercantilism. It's the same thing that caused capitalists to dump a bunch of tea into Boston Harbor. Now, since when is Syria a capitalist country? It has horrible scores on almost every metric of the Index of Economic Freedom. It's been a socialist country led by the Assad family ever since a military coup in 1970. Their current president, Bashar al-Assad, is a member of the Arab Socialist Ba'ath Party, which also has a majority of seats in the People's Council. In fact, together with the Socialist Unionists, the Communist Party of Syria, the Arab Socialist Union, and the Syrian Social Nationalist Party, Syria's socialist parties all total hold 169 of the council's 250 seats, a 2/3 majority. So why are you blaming capitalism for deaths you should be adding to socialism's toll? Is this video nothing more than a statistic followed by a slideshow of pictures in war-torn areas? What's the point of even making this a video other than to hit people in the fifis? You're lying and attributing these deaths to capitalism and trying to get there with emotions, not facts. Okay, I think we see where this is going. Wars waged in part by the United States government, which is about as capitalist as George III, comprise part of the death toll under capitalism. Aside from the fact that these have nothing to do with capitalism, do you know what else is bogus about this? That figure of the 265 million democides that we keep referring to do not count wars. So you have to count wars to give capitalism a death toll, and even then, it's not even a capitalist government doing it. Why don't you call the country by its full name? The Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. I mean, really, Hong Kong is the most capitalist country in the world. Why aren't you looking at that? Or many other countries which rank higher than the US on the Index of Economic Freedom, including the Netherlands, Ireland, Canada, Estonia, Australia, Switzerland, and New Zealand. Come on, why don't you talk about the death toll under Apple or Microsoft? How many people has Elon Musk slaughtered? You want to show deaths due to capitalism? Show deaths due to capitalism. The war on drugs is the opposite of capitalism. Capitalism is when things are bought and sold by private entities. The war on drugs and other forms of prohibition are where buying and selling are illegal. Same with sanctions. They make it illegal to sell to or buy from Iraqis. Sanctions are anti-capitalist. Ditto. Embargoes prohibit trade, therefore they're the opposite of capitalism. You have far less poverty under capitalism than you do under any other system. Poverty was the norm before capitalism came along. It's thanks to capitalism that people in poverty have a hope of getting out of it. More economically free countries have a lower percentage of their people in poverty, and those that are in poverty are better off in terms of material goods, lifestyle, nutrition, and health than those in less free countries. Whereas with socialism, you get Venezuela, where people are starving in a country with fertile soil and a year-round growing season. Blaming capitalism for poverty is like blaming anti-lock brakes for the deaths caused by accidents those cars get in. Those deaths would have happened anyway, but anti-lock brakes means there are fewer accidents for people to die in to begin with. By the way, something else he doesn't tell you. This 18 million figure is the death toll due to poverty worldwide. Everywhere else he's been talking about the United States, but here it's all countries, regardless of the political system. How dishonest can you get? The latest figures I could find for the U.S. was a 2011 study which found 133,000 U.S. deaths to poverty in the year 2000, which is a little over 47 per 100,000. Worldwide, it's more like 250 in 100,000, over 5 times as much. These statistics just do not bear this guy out. Again, not capitalism. It was capitalism that kept ending slavery. That's why the U.S. government had to keep protecting and subsidizing the institution of slavery with things like the Fugitive Slave Acts. The free market made the Underground Railroad, which helped them escape into safety. In fact, you can't even find any historical figures speaking out against slavery prior to the ideals of capitalism and individual liberty being formulated in the 1600s. Another worldwide figure. According to the CDC, children are more likely to be killed by bathtubs than by preventable diseases in the U.S. Why don't you see if you can correlate it with the level of economic freedom? I'll tell you why. Because you can't! Infant mortality and deaths by preventable disease go way down the more economically free a country is. Worldwide again. Amazing how he stopped even looking at just the U.S. Maybe because it's so rare in the U.S., the CDC doesn't even have a category for it. So yeah, he couldn't really attribute any deaths to capitalism, and when he resorted to worldwide figures, he did nothing to show that these happen at a greater rate in countries that are more capitalist than in countries that are more socialist. He just looked at all the deaths and said that they were due to capitalism because potato. He couldn't actually link it to capitalism, and the reason why is very simple. Capitalism is the only economic structure where the strong are incentivized through the profit motive to help the weak, and the rich incentivized to help the poor. Maybe it can't solve every problem, but socialism hasn't solved any problems. In fact, it's only ever made them worse. Hey, thanks to Hoodie Demon for letting me guest host this video while he's away. Why not hit like and subscribe? And to make sure I can keep producing content, support this channel by becoming a patron. And check out all the other great content here, like this video selected especially for you.